All right, we're here with the newly married David Carr, 1 weekend, 74 kilogram representative for Team USA men's freestyle. Before we get into the wrestling, one, congratulations. Two, are you going to get a honeymoon for you and your new bride?
We are going to go on a honeymoon. Right now it's postponed. Obviously the World Championships. I was like, dude, I can't go on a honeymoon and eat whatever I want and like not train. So I was like, once the Worlds is over, we can go somewhere, anywhere you want for a week, and we'll eat and hang out and have a good time. So
that sounds like a good deal.
Yeah.
Awesome. A lot I want to get into. It's been an amazing year for you, winning at Final X. Want to go back there. Mitchell Mesenbrink, the challenge he presented at the U.S. Open, the adjustments you were able to make. What sort of challenges did he give you, and how are you able to figure that out in not one but two matches?
Yeah, at the U.S. Open, he wrestled very great. He created a lot of chaos, and he has a lot of little things that he did well, and then the antics of, how he wrestles can get you distracted. There's so much things that kind of go on, and so I had to kind of calm my mind and had to figure out what kind of adjustments I needed to make. There were just some small things, giving up some easy points. I think I could have done a little better, and so went back to the drawing board, made some adjustments, and I was able to get the two wins in the Final X.
Of the attributes that come to mind for David Carr, I think the one for me that stands out is your ability to adjust, your ability to craft a game plan. But one thing I've noticed, it's kind of like you get a feel for a guy, and then the next time out, World Championships, it's that time, and that's it. How do you adjust your preparation knowing like, well, hey, I'm not getting a 2 out of 3 with Valiev or Sidakov or Takahashi. How do you change your preparation with that in mind?
In a best case scenario, it'd be cool to wrestle all those people before. I think about in the college season, I had the Big 12s, I'd wrestle Keegan, O'Toole, or wrestle some of the top guys, Hamidi, and then at Nationals it was cool. But there's a lot of great competitors I wouldn't wrestle, and they'd be the first time. And I do thrive on making adjustments and game plans, but I also like people it's their first time feeling me as well. And so the first time they have to get used to my speed, re-attacks, or explosive ability. And so those things are great, and I think that can be helpful, but also it's all your mindset. It's all how you look at it.
Yeah. How did you get to be, obviously your dad was a legend of sport. You've been around a lot of great wrestling minds, but how did you get to where, obviously your physical skills are great, but how did you sharpen that mental side?
Yeah, the mental side of wrestling is so big, and I think my dad has really contributed in that aspect of, as I was growing up, he's like, I can teach you all the moves in the world. I can show you a single leg, double leg, high crotch, snap, go behind. If you don't think the right way, you're not going to be able to reach the highest levels of the sport. And so at a young age, he'd read books to me. We would listen to different things, videos and motivationals, and he would just tell me how to set goals and how to be disciplined.
Yeah. What are you thinking about when you're on the mat? What is like running through your mind?
I'm thinking about, trying to score in bunches. I'm thinking about my stance, where to put my hands. And then I'm also just grateful for the moment. I'm grateful to compete, to be healthy to compete. And those are the things I kind of think about.
Yeah. What did that win over Sal Kazanov mean for you? He beat you, I think, 3-0 previously. Mm-hmm. You get him a couple months later. The score made it look closer than the match actually was, in my opinion. How much of a confidence boost is it beating someone that good?
Yeah, he's a 2-time world finalist. I watched him wrestle Kyle Day, watch him wrestle Jordan Burroughs. He's been around for a while, so to be able to wrestle him and really to get some takedowns. Like the first match, I couldn't really get to him. And this match, I kind of had 3 takedowns. It kind of took one away.
Yeah.
It was close. It was a weird match, but to be able to just get over that hump and get that win gave me a lot of confidence. And also just things to work on where I'm starting to learn these foreigners, they feel like they don't react to a lot of fakes. They stay very relaxed. And so usually like my whole thing is like, I want to keep you in suspense the whole time. I want you kind of biting on the fakes, and that opens up the double leg and some of my attacks. So with the foreigners, they're not really reacting as much, but then that creates other ways where I can snap and go around the guy and do different things like that.
Then you had a crazy one against Takahashi of Japan. Definitely a 50-50 kind of match, it appeared. What did you take away from a match where you lost, but it definitely looked winnable?
Yeah, I think that's definitely a winnable match. There's little adjustments. I think that, you know, wrestling him was great because he has great speed, he has great re-attacks. Those are things that I'll be able to, going into the match, and some things you just got to be able to feel. And now that I've wrestled him, I'm definitely excited to wrestle him again and have that opportunity, hopefully.
Yeah. In the last, I guess, 2 weeks, maybe even less, Zaurbek Sidakov, Olympic champion, multiple world champion, won his wrestle off for Russia. He's expected to be their rep. How much have you thought about a match against Sidakov, a guy with 2 wins over Burroughs, a win over Dake, just kind of been in a thorn in Team USA side? How much have you thought about wrestling Sidakov?
No, I've thought about him a lot. And my coach Metcalf is actually the last person to beat him.
That's right.
So, hey, he's going to be coaching me. He knows how to beat him. And I'll be training really hard for that opportunity. And it's really cool. It's special when you have a great weight class, especially when you have a world champion. And I think about, Roland Gardner. I think about Kyle Snyder beating for his world championship at 19, being was he a 2-time world champ?
Yeah,
defending world champ.
Yeah.
Man, I think about all these special moments. I want to have a special moment like that.
That's awesome. And then there's Valiev from Albania. He just beat Sidakov.
Yeah.
So what do you think about him and his style? He's kind of a different sort of approach.
His style is different than the rest of the field. He's very unique. Keeps it close, but can explode on a dime. And watching their match together, I've watched him a few times. He's wrestled Salkanov. He's wrestled everyone at the weight pretty much, and he's the front runner really. But I think you can't count out Sidakov. Both of those guys are very competitive, and I've been watching a lot of film on them, trying to game plan and get ready for them, and I'm excited.
Film study, I feel like for wrestlers, like some are really into it, and it's a really important aspect. And some of it's like, all right, coach, you just tell me kind of what to look out for. It sounds like you're a guy that watches a lot of film. What is your process like for watching film, and how does that materialize into tactics?
Yeah, I feel like usually, I'm not too heavy in the film because in the United States, I feel like I've grown up kind of already watching some of the guys I'll wrestle, and I'm kind of familiar with some of their techniques. Because of some of the foreigners, I've wrestled at some of the age group world championships, but some of these guys have such a unique style, like Sidakov and Sherman, and all these guys, Valiev. I think to be able to get my eyes on them now early, I can just get ready for things. So I'm not like surprised with like, oh, this guy's going to try to score in the last 30, or this guy's not going to do much, but he's going to really try to strike. Like, I'm not going to be surprised by those things. So I've watched them, but at the same time, once I get over it at the Worlds, it's like, hey, coach, give me some keynotes, some quick things I need to focus on, things like that.
Yeah. You've been on age level teams before, junior world champ. But what's it like, the emphasis, the focus, now that you're the guy for the senior world team? What has that been like? Have you enjoyed that extra level? It's like you've got your coaches at Iowa State and Coach Metcalf, but now Coach Sadik and the whole USA staff really pouring into you. What has that been like, and has that benefited you?
It's been super beneficial. Coach Sadik, Coach Joe, the whole team has been awesome to be around. It's definitely like we're getting there so early. Like for the world championships for cadets and juniors and U23s, you kind of just show up there and then you wrestle. We're getting there. There's an acclimation camp. There's a whole process. You have to be at all these training camps. Like I got married, I'm still going to training camp. It's just they're intentional about everything. They want to win a team title. They want to win as many medals as they can. But it's also been great. I've been able to train with Jordan Burroughs. I'm actually going to go train with him after this. And so to have that support from different people who are like, hey, you're on Team USA, we want to help you. We want to help you gain the skills and give you the access you need.
Give me, if you will, just like an example of a message Jordan has given you that's been helpful for you. Obviously, the greatest ever, but also his mind, I think, is what really separated him. What's something he's told you or some wisdom he's maybe given you?
Yeah, so after US Open, I was able to go down and train with him for a little while. And we're in the sauna, and he was just talking about like, hey man, a year out of college basically, and you're already in Final X. You get an opportunity, like go seize it. Like you can make these adjustments. You can be on a world team. You could be right on for having a great year. You get married. You get like all these things. He's like just being very positive and just very mentoring and just telling me like you have the abilities to do it. Like you can be a world champion. And so knowing that he's all the success he's had, and I've been able to work with him a ton, and he's telling me I can be a world champion. I believe it.
Yeah. Training with him, how good is he still?
Oh, he's so good.
Yeah.
He hasn't skipped a beat. So we're wrestling, and I usually go with someone in the morning, and then in the afternoon for the second practice, he'll throw his shoes on, and then we wrestle. A lot of technique, a lot of drills, and then little like 3-minute goes, short goes, and he'll put me through some conditioning. That's kind of suck, but it's fun wrestling him, and he hasn't skipped a beat. He's really good. I'm sure he'll be competing probably next year.
For you, coming up, was he the wrestler you looked up to the most maybe even before that relationship was formed? Was Jordan kind of the guy, he was around your weight range, probably where you thought you were going to be? Was he always kind of that for you?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, my style has kind of changed a little bit, has developed over time, but I watched like a lot of his matches and I kind of mimicked the way he wrestled, and I saw so much success for it overseas. So really I remember thinking like, if I can kind of mimic a little bit of that, but make it my own, maybe I could have that same success overseas. Because it seems like it frustrates the foreigners. It seems like, that style of he'll either take you down with a double leg or he'll, beat you by 1,000 cuts with push-outs. Mm-hmm. Or you get overzealous, you shoot on him, he's reattacking. That style seems to win. It seems to do well, and it's in different fashions for different athletes. But obviously, watching him, I'm like, man, that's how I want to get it done.
What have you added to your arsenal maybe over the last year or so?
Just making sure I can attack to both sides of the body, making sure I can put myself in good position to reattack. I know that was like kind of an emphasis of continuing to build on those skills. Things like that, hand fighting, but hand fighting from, like, it's not just space. It's hand fighting and space. Things like those are the things I've been focused on, getting better at.
Yeah. Being in really tough, people kind of, NCAA wrestling and world wrestling, they're really different. And, there can be comments on just like how much more rigorous one thing is. But you were in some really tough NCAA weights. How does that kind of feedback of wrestling a guy like Keegan over and over again, how does that kind of accelerate your growth as you got another great that's kind of showing you, hey, this is a hole, this is a hole, this is a hole?
I think it's great because you can't become your best version of yourself if you're not being challenged, if you're not being pushed. And so, my bracket, my senior year, there were so many national champs. Hamidi, O'Toole, Mitchell, Nebraska, I'm blanking. Antrell. Like, there was just so many great guys at that weight who went on to be champions or who were in the finals or doing well. And so, like, wrestling in such a hard weight, that's what I expect for anything. I think, like, when you have something hard and you have a great weight, it actually brings the best out of you. And so knowing looking at Sidakov winning the wrestle off and looking at all the guys at my weight, I'm like, man, it makes me push myself to a different level.
Yeah. Iowa State, you've been there. How important has that decision been to wrestle at Iowa State, to remain there with the RTC? Just give me a picture of that training situation, your coaches, and how it's benefited you.
Yeah, Coach Kevin Dresser has been amazing and has been very flexible. We don't have a huge RTC, but I've enjoyed training with Marcus Coleman. He'll be my training partner as I go overseas, and we do a lot of training in the morning, and then it's like freestyle focus, and then we'll do the college practices in the afternoon, and that seemed to work. And I've been able to travel a little bit as well. So I try to, sometimes I'll hit the Minnesota RTC, sometimes I'll hit Nebraska, UNI even, train with Parker Kikeisen. And I'll kind of do that a little bit that's close by just to get some different feels. I have this great room at Iowa State, but it's cool to get some freestyle feels, different unique things that maybe I won't be exposed to with some of the college guys doing focus style and they're trying to roll ankle and scramble. I'm like, all right, well, this doesn't happen in freestyle. So it's kind of good to get out or go out to Philly and train with JB. I might go out to Ithaca and train with Yanni. Just different things like that.
Yeah. What are you most excited about wrestling at the World Championships?
I'm just excited to represent my country. I'm excited that it's in Croatia. It's a beautiful place in Croatia. And I'm excited for a tough bracket. It's a great field. I think it's going to be challenging for me. It's going to be a test for me. And I love tests. I'm going to study hard for them, and I'm going to try to be the best version I can.
If you have one, is there a message you would give to the field, to your potential competitors?
A message. It's a tough spot for me as a competitor with how I see my competition, because for my faith, I'm seeing you want to love everyone, even your enemies. And so my thing is, I hope that everyone's healthy. I hope that they're at their best. And when they're at their best, it's going to bring the best out of me. And we're both kind of just in a dance partners in a dance, not really the enemy or, this is Russia or this. They're kind of just in the same dance. We're both after the same goal. And obviously I hope that I can achieve the goal and win. But I hope that they're all healthy. Hope they're feeling in good spirits.
Do you feel like a rookie? It's your first senior world team. Do you feel that way?
I don't feel like a rookie in the sense of, I think the USA has done a great job with the age group world championships. I've been on every single team from cadet, junior, U23, and now senior world team. And those experience, like the U20s is going on right now, are so huge. And also the ranking series are huge. So I don't feel like a rookie. I feel like I've been able to wrestle some of the best guys in the world. And I've been able to train with the best guys in the world. And I feel like that will help me and be prepared.
Awesome. Anything, Tyler? You got anything else for us, David? Really appreciate your time, man.
I want to thank my wife for letting me come out here and train and do these things. She's been amazing. She's praying for me. We're being able to talk a lot. I know it's not the easiest thing to let me travel and be a part since we just got married, but she's been just a rock and a great foundation for me. So I appreciate her. Special shout out for her, and a shout out for my parents for driving me all over the world at tournaments and waking me up, taking me to camps. That's a lot of work for parents to do. And the vision of being a world Olympic champion, we're in those stages of life. And I know that's what they put all the work in for me to do that. So I appreciate those people, and thank you guys.
Awesome. Thanks, David.